Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review on Batman Black and White issue 1. And before we start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. First update is on Dark Avenger Inc. We are reviewing every Villains Month issue, so I do have two in-depth reviews on Dark Avenger Inc., which is Gorilla Grodd, issue 23.1, and Poison Ivy, issue 23.1. Also, I have Comic Uno episode 12, where I have 17 issues I read this week, so I have a lot of exclusive comics for episode 17, some Villain Month stuff also. So let me talk about the exclusive comics, which are Poison Ivy, Detective Comics issue 23.1, The Flash issue 23.1, Gorilla Grodd, Venom issue 40, Trillium issue 2, Count Vertigo, Green Lantern issue 23.1, Green Arrow 23.1, I don't know why I said Green Lantern, and Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue 3. So if you want to go check out those reviews in every comic I read this week in a countdown type of version, go check out Comic Uno episode 12, which is annotated. But let's talk about Batman Black and White issue 1. This is a $5 price tag, but you get a lot of story here. It's I think 5 short stories, so you get a lot of story here. So it's kind of worth the $5. It's not one of those small comics. I think like Adventures of Superman is a little smaller than Batman Black and White. But yeah, the cover looks cool. It's black and white, and you know, it's not just a name. It really is black and white in here. So there is no coloring. So maybe if you don't like that style, you might have a hard time reading this. But I've read black and white comics before. I'm not a humongous fan of them, but I think some series it works in, and I think in Batman it does work, especially the stories that they are telling. So I thought it works pretty well with black and white and with Batman. But let's talk about the stories. I'm going to go story by story and kind of review each story as I go along and then tell you my overall perspective on this series. But let's talk about the first story, which is a kind of old school Batman story where we get to see Batman and Robin, they're teaming up, and Batman gets transported somewhere and Robin gets the help of Superman to find Batman. It's kind of short story, but it's a fun old time type Batman story, and the art in this, and I think the cartoony feel we have here is perfect. And it's probably my favorite, second favorite art in this issue. I thought it worked perfectly, even with Superman. It just had that old style, and you could tell it was an old-time adventure. So art was perfect. Story was fun. You know, it wasn't the better of the ones in this issue, but it was fun, it was short. So I enjoyed the first story. Second story was enjoyable, but I think some people might not like it. It's called Batman Zombie. Batman's not actually a zombie in here. He's not coming, I mean, he is coming up from the grave. It's kind of a dream or a hallucination, so he's not actually a zombie. But it shows that he's very good at fighting like Scarecrow, all these big villains, but he kind of forgets little people, especially when they do wrong things, like someone steals tube socks and he's in jail for life, and this woman doesn't pay her bills and she gets her house taken away. So these little people Batman is forgetting about, and he realizes that, and he's like a zombie with these situations, but the bigger situations like Scarecrow and all that, he's all rushing to get. And I think, you know, that's definitely symbolism for, I guess, our world. And it's Neil Adams, so he does like doing symbolism and stuff. So it's a pretty intellectual story if you look into it. So if you're looking for a Batman intellectual story, Batman Zombie definitely was the story for you. And again, I really like that they really had different genres in Batman Black and White, because every issue it was intellectual, or it was just fun, or is it Batman anime series like, which I'm going to get to next actually. But every story was very different. I think all different crowds are going to really enjoy, and maybe what you like of Batman is definitely at least one story is here for you. Alright, next story is for Harley and Ivy, and that's what the story is called. Justice is Served. And Harley and Poison Ivy, they're teaming up. They have the same humor as Batman the Animated Series. So if you love that classic Harley Quinn humor and teaming up with Poison Ivy, you will love this issue. This was definitely my favorite from the issue. I loved it. It had that Harley feel to it. It wasn't forced, and it is just the great humor that these two could really come with if you have the right writer. So Harley, she goes to a burger place, and she finds out that this scientist is affecting the burgers and making everyone grow into fat people and have this disease. But everyone thinks it's poison ivy because it's just like her formula. But we find out it's not poison ivy. So poison ivy and Harley team up to try to get this scientist. And Batman also finds out that it's not it's not poison ivy also. So we get to see a cool Batman, poison ivy, Harley Quinn team up, which is actually them not being villains. It's just them being themselves. They don't end up in jail in the end, which is cool. You don't get to see that a lot with these characters, so love that story. I thought it was perfect. The tone was definitely there for those two characters. Sometimes it's a hit and miss with some writers, but they did Harley Quinn perfectly and Poison Ivy team up perfectly. So that is number 3. Now the 4th story is pretty much about the Batmobile. I thought this one was okay. I think this was the worst out of all of them. It's just him, Batman working on the Batmobile. And he's chasing somebody. He's like, oh, I'm the only one who can work on this. And that's pretty much it. It's a really short story. But again, I thought that was the worst out of all of them. I think if you're a big Batmobile fan, then you're going to be like, whoa, we got the car and he's working on it. That's cool. He's just driving it. If you're a fan of that, I think you'll like it, but I'm not really a fan of him working on cars, so I didn't really enjoy that story as much. Alright, so the last story is actually kind of Batman anime feel. We do have a little bit of cartoony art, but really works for Batman, and he's just looking for a killer. He's working with the Gotham police, and he's looking for a killer. And that's pretty much what it is. The last story. I felt like that was a little bit of a weaker story, but is a little bit on the lower of the totem pole from these stories, but still enjoyable, and the art really worked well here. But my favorite has to be the Harley Quinn story and probably the Robin story. And the zombie story I really liked because you could think more about it. Probably the last 2 stories were a little bit of the weaker ones, but still really enjoyable. I think anybody who likes Batman should pick this up because there's different type of Batman fans and you like different portions of Batman. I think this was really divided up well where a Harley Quinn Batman fan will like it, or a Batmobile Batman fan will like this issue. And even a classic Batman fan will like this issue. So definitely pick this up. I give it 4 stars. I thought it was really solid. I had a lot of fun with this. I'll pick up issue 2, and I love the back of this. They show all the stories. I think, this is the stories for this issue, and then next issue they'll do the same thing. I love the background for that. And look at the Harley Quinn art. It shows all the different art and all the different writers. So definitely pick this up. It's diverse. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's a really fun issue. I know it's Villains Month, so you might want to wait for this after Villains Month. But I definitely recommend you at least pick this up. Maybe not this week, but at a point in time that you should maybe have it available to pick this up. But definitely get it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Hope you guys enjoyed. I say pick it up. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic and No and the Rant Situations. And don't forget to like me on Facebook. See you guys.